So, Super EZA Super Saiyan 3 Goku is going to be the very first Super EZA, of course, coming to the game, both global and GP, for the Saiyan Day celebration here. And I've seen a lot of discussion about the Super Saiyan 3 Goku when his details initially came out. You know, he's in the private server right now, everything like that. He does officially release on the 21st, which you see right here is in 4 days. So still a long time before this guy officially does release. But I've seen a lot of talk about him being potentially underwhelming. Maybe he's not as good as he should have been. And a lot of discussion regarding that, about his design. You know, I think a lot of people are worried about Super EZAs because they're not changing super attack effects on these Super EZAs. And I kind of see where the worry for that could come from. Like, again, if we take a look at some of these Extreme Z battle characters that, you know, are eventually going to be getting Super EZAs, we see Legendary Super Saiyan Broly is one of these characters here. So let me bring up Broly, and then we can see with this S tier Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, this guy's super attack effect, it sucks. Raise attack for 3 turns, just 50% attack raise for 3 turns. That doesn't really do anything. We see full power Frieza. I think it's maybe a better version of this card where it's like, okay, maybe his super attack effect could be a little better here. But if you take a look at this physical full power Frieza, he just gets the 30% defense for 3 turns, which is not bad, actually. I think that's a pretty decent super attack effect. We can see Tech Cell. I don't know, does Tech Cell even have a super attack effect? Like, what does he do? Like, I don't recall him having one. He recovers 10% HP, but there's no attack raise, no defense raise, nothing like that. It's just pure HP recovery. Physical Kid Buu, like, he greatly lowers defense, and that's all that guy is doing. So, I think, you know, when it comes to these really old EZAs that didn't really get any super attack effects, so he just lowers defense, right? These really old EZAs that don't have any super attack effects here, it's going to be an issue where, especially if these guys don't get like anything good on their super attack effect specifically, like I believe Gogeta, does he not like just lower attack, right? Lower attack and defense. I think it's all this Gogeta does. And you know, that Gogeta, for example, is a character that people are really looking forward to. Well, all he does lower attack and defense. Janemba lowers defense, right? It's like, when's the first character that actually raises their defense, right? You know, Goku Black, I believe he doesn't even, he debuffs, right? He doesn't raise attack and defense. I think Buu Ultimate Gohan, does he do that? Actually, I'm just taking a look here. A little bit of a tangent here. Does this in Buu Ultimate Gohan actually do that on his super attack effect? No, just greater power, so it's just extra attack, right? It's like, the reason why they're like, yeah, we don't want to update super attack effects is for characters, you know, once we start getting to someone like Physical Vegito Blue, or, you know, especially like going all the way down, and then we get a character like the Physical Broly trio, right, where it's like, they say for balance purposes, and I'm thinking they're thinking about characters in the very, very future, because, I mean, even like Blue Evolution Vegeta, what are they gonna do, like, for updating this? Greatly raise attack and defense, high chance to crit, and then all allies crit for 2 turns, and then same here, greatly raise defense. Like, what are they gonna do to improve that? Like, I think it's a situation where there's so many super attack effects here that they don't want, like, in the future, these guys are like, you know, balance purposes, we don't want to give too much, but I think that could be an issue for certain characters, because on one hand, the passive skill, they can change everything in the passive skill to match up, but these characters are going to be a lot less likely to be good if they don't have, like, let's say, defense raising on the super attack effect, or stacking, or, you know, even anything that buffs the stats specifically, right? Or if it's just stuck with great lower defense, like, at least like a lowering attack could be interesting, or ceiling or something, right? And even some of these new bosses, but, you know, ideally, like, defense raise is so important here on the super attack effect, and characters not getting that, it could be a little dangerous, right? Especially if they don't have like really high reduction. In my opinion, though, I think they did a good job with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. From what I've seen, he's usually around like over a mil defense. He has the 30% chance to dodge after he supers. For the first few turns, he has really good chance to crit, so he'll have the guaranteed crit for 1 turn. Then after he dodges, he gets the 50% chance to crit, and he has 20% chance to crit right here for 3 turns to all allies. So what happens is it goes from guaranteed crit to 50% to 70% crit chance, and then after that he'll go back to a 50% chance to crit. Kind of how it will be able to work there, though I guess he'll have to dodge to get that 50% chance to crit on the 5th appearance, but still. He also has 60% chance to dodge before he attacks, which is interesting in this situation where, like, you know, there are still some AoE bosses, so the extra 30% chance to dodge here could be very useful in some of these, like, fights like Fusions of Masu, for example. Still a pretty difficult fight there. So that can be helpful for the Super Saiyan 3 EGO Goku. I think they did make him good. They did make him very useful. I mean, it would have been nice if he did raise defense for here, but it's not that worst thing ever. But again, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about, oh, you know, they're not really satisfied with how the Super EZA like event specifically is going to be like. Because if you take a look here, with Super EZAs, I'm gonna do, dude, I don't know if y'all heard that, but some like machine upstairs like turn on and just like gonna burn. Y'all probably think I'm crazy. But if we see here, it's just one stage, and you just wanna, the missions aren't even here in the global version, right? But if we switch to the JP version, we could see that there are actually missions attached to this as well, where you want to, you know, clear this Extreme Z battle a certain amount of times, and with certain like team setups, stuff like that. But it's just one stage that gives 3 stones. And I think people, or 5 stones in total, people aren't really like excited about that. They're like, oh, it's just 5 stones, and then, you know, with actual Extreme Z battles we get 30 stones, and people are worried like, oh, are these Super EZAs going to replace Extreme Z battles? Because so far for the Saiyan Day celebration, there's no hint that they're going to give us a actual Extreme Z battle. Now, we'll get this confirmed tomorrow in the news, and I might make a video talking about this tomorrow, like what EZA could we see for the Saiyan Day celebration, because I think that's a good topic, because I feel like there's a good chance that we'll still get a normal EZA for the celebration. But keep in mind, we know that probably just outside of top grossing, they do allocate stones apparently to each celebration. Like, they plan out ahead of time how many stones they're going to be giving during the celebration. So in that situation, like, no matter what, the celebration would still get the same amount of stones. Like, if they're not going to bring an EZA for the celebration, then it's like, well, okay, maybe we'll put missions here because there's not going to be an actual Extreme Z battle, so we get like relatively the same amount of stones that we want to give for the celebration, right? That kind of thing right there. But again, I feel like Super EZAs could really just be the side by side with the normal EZA. It doesn't necessarily have to replace an EZA slot, but we'll see. Again, I think people may not be too excited regarding that, but I think it'll be fine, right? Even if Super EZAs do take a slot for Extreme Z battles, it's not like Extreme Z battles are going away, but people will feel like looking side by side is like, oh, you know, we technically do lose 30 stones from this, but well, and that's me. I will definitely understand that. We'll see what exactly they do from there. Again, I would still assume we're gonna get an Extreme Z battle for Saiyan Day regardless, so hopefully that's the case. But again, I asked Twitter here what we know about EGO Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Based on what we know, of course, do you think he's still good or underpowered, and how do you feel about Super EZAs in general now that we know how they work, right? So I just wanted to get some of the community ideas regarding this and lay out the foundation of, you know, what this video is, which, to be fair, we're like 8.5 minutes into it, and I talked about it already, but sort of. But let's see what some people are actually saying. He's fine, could have been made better, but for what I think he is, he's okay. Janemba and Kid Buu will say villain levels of good. So I mean, we could say that, right? But it's nothing really confirmed. I feel like people shouldn't like put expectations where it's like, oh, these characters are gonna save, you know, villains, or these characters are gonna save like these characters or these teams. But it will be a lot more helpful to that, because like, again, physical Kid Buu, full power Frieza, Janemba, Cell, like a lot of these are very early on Extreme Z battles, right? Kid Buu, the Sky is providing 50% attack and defense support, dude. If they just get rid of this HP requirement, he's just supporting 50%. Give him like really strong reduction in the 3rd slot, and it's like, it doesn't even necessarily matter that he does not do this. Maybe even give him multi-turn support in some situations. That could be really interesting. This full power Frieza, again, he's going to be really good for the AGL Frieza, because if you take a look here, the AGL Frieza does want a Space Traveling Warriors allies, and he wants Terrifying Conquerors category allies right here. So this guy will be able to link really well with him. I mean, what links do they share? They'll share Strongest Clan of Space, Universe Most Malevolent, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, right? Actually, he doesn't have Thirst for Conquest, because I don't think that link was a thing, but yeah, Universe Most Malevolent, Strongest Clan of Space, Big Bad Bosses, and Fierce Battle, which is a good amount of links, especially for Big Bad Bosses right there. Universe Most Malevolent and Strongest Clan of Space, Key and Attack, and then Fierce Battle. So that'll be good, especially because this guy does want to be in slot 1. So what if he becomes a really strong slot 1 character in idea with working with this first form Frieza? I think that could be really good, because this guy is obviously a slot 2 character. But if we got a really strong slot 1 version EZA for this character, that could be really good. Maybe we give him guard, and then he could have reduction here with this defense in the first slot. Like, that could be really, really interesting. And he has this 30% defense for the multiple turns. Maybe he can get an additional super attack once he receives an attack within the turn. Working really well with this Frieza could be super, super nice. Again, we know Janemba, just in general, he will fit the movie bosses team transformation boost. Those are 2 interesting teams. This guy could really help out the rear guard setup, right? But like, again, he's a guarding unit with dodge right here, and then this multiple turn attack. So again, just boost these stats up, give it a defense here, a high chance to dodge. Like, there's interesting things that they could do, but it's like, you know, it'd be really nice if they had these super attack effects there. This guy's a nuker. He gets key per rainbow keys first. So what if he becomes a rainbow orb changer? That could be really interesting too. Anyone who says underpowered lacks a brain. I mean, Janemba and LR Janemba EZA the future. Oh yeah, I guess LR Janemba will share the same name, and that's another issue that I think people are talking about, because like they're like, oh, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku is gonna get Super EZA, but then we got STR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so it's like, you know, this guy kind of feels a little mute. Not necessarily. I feel like, again, a lot of people aren't going to summon for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but we could also say, again, for not STR Janemba, in Janemba, and then we have the physical LR Janemba, who will be upcoming on an EZA soon. Like, they're going to have the same name, right? We see Broly. I would anticipate a Broly we're going to be getting soon, so like, if we get another Broly soon, they're going to have the same name. If we get another Super Gogeta soon, they're going to have the same name, right? There could be a lot of issues regarding that. I mean, this AGL Rose will have the physical Rose out. Like, by the time, well, I guess by the time this AGL Rose, if we get one Super EZA per month, I should actually go to JP again, just because that's gonna be like, we don't know the order they're gonna go in. To be fair, they said sequential, so that could either be like in number order or like once a month. Like, they could go from Super Saiyan 3 Goku to Janemba. Like, they could do that if they wanted. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. Or they could just go in direct order. You just don't know how they're going to do it. But if they do go specifically in, like, order of when they released, then AGL Rose is, like, down here. This boy is not going to come out for a while. But it'll be good for characters that don't really usually get the representation, such as, again, Cell, Buhan, you know, Base from Goku Black. I think, you know, this, like, Sentinel and Super Vegeta, Sentinel and Super Gogeta, like, those characters, they usually make them transforming now, like, or transforming or fusing characters. Super Saiyan 3 Broly, a character that, you know, when he got his original EZA, he wasn't really that great still, but hopefully with Super EZA, he'll be cooking really well, or take away that defense debuff. We have Truth right here, very satisfied with the strength. Hello ladies, if you happen to stumble upon this post, okay, what about this? Let's go ahead and hide this, and there that is. So he's good for a prehistoric unit that got its second EZA. I mean, yeah, I think another thing you can consider is that even though this guy is 24, you can consider him a 2024 unit, right? He is a 2024 unit in terms of his overall power, I would say. He will work well in the 9th anniversary content, but he's not going to be like a top tier character. This is the global release, but if you look at the JP release, this character came out in 2015. December of 2015, man. That's a long time ago. That's almost 10 years ago. Well, that's 8 years ago, right? Basically. So, yeah, it's crazy how old this guy is. And his EZA came out in 2017, dude, and he is Super EZAing in 2024. So like, even though he's a 2024 unit, you have to keep in mind this it is an older character. They're not gonna make him as good as the brand new summonable characters. He'll be good with them. You could say that he's in the same realm of them, but like, is it gonna be as good as them? Probably not. Like, I mean, well, we could see S tier Super Saiyan 3 Goku's obviously a better version of this guy for all intents and purposes, but he'll still be a good option, right? Which is really nice. Super easy, so to have an animation update, whether it be selecting the same name character or just purple lining. Super attack effects should be changed. As for Super Saiyan 3, it looks like he was designed for Cell Max. Yeah, I feel like he's going to be really good for the Cell Max fight. But again, it's like, you know, it would have been nice, even if he got greatly lower attack or raised defense for the turn. Like, something could have been really nice there for the super attack effect. He's more than perfect. If this is how all of them will be, then they're filling out these teams nicely. Yep. Very good for Cell Max. Don't have complaints, but you really don't like that they aren't changing the super attack effects, because a lot of these old EZAs have awful effects. Yeah, and it's like a thing where I think Super Saiyan 3 Goku, they did him well where he has the dodge at least, and they gave him enough defense post super where it's like, okay, he's always going to be tanking normals and he at least has the chance to dodge. But it's like not every EZA is likely going to be as lucky as this guy. Like, again, characters that have built-in faults like a Super Saiyan 3 Broly, and then Super Saiyan 3 Broly doesn't, well, does he raise, actually don't remember, does he raise defense for the turn? He might actually. I don't think he does though, right? Super Saiyan 3 Broly. I think it just lowers defense, right? Like, he massively lowers defense, like come on. And then he's already debuffing himself. Like, the main issue is that they like going with the original essence of what the character was, which we can clearly see here. I mean, this guy over time he like gets weaker and weaker. So it's like they might not take away a debuff kind of thing with this guy. Hopefully they do, but it'd be really annoying if they don't. And it's like, okay, if they don't, then him not having a super attack effect really hurts him. And it's just like a multiplicative part of his passive. What if they don't give him a multiplicative part of his passive? And then it's like, okay, well, there's an issue, right? But it's only hypothetical at this point. Well, I think we'll have to see more and more. Super EZAs will be really good, but this Goku's mid. I disagree. He's alright. He could hold up for now. Honestly, though, I wish they would give Super EZA changes to super attack effects. Yeah, because again, it's a thing where it's like he's good now, but like, you know, because he doesn't have defense raised for the turn on super attack effect, he's likely going to age out faster than a character that would have it, that already has a Super EZA, but, or not a Super EZA, an EZA that already does raise defense for the turn, but I don't know. I think they should have just updated the super attack effects, because it's really helpful. And without the updates, it can be a little annoying to try and balance around these units, especially when designing them. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think about Super Saiyan 3 Goku, about Super EZAs, just in general. Thanks y'all for watching. Again, this guy does come out in the 21st. Tomorrow we should be getting celebration info for Saiyan Day as well, because this character does come out tomorrow. So I think the global missions, actually, if you take a look here, go live at let me take a look here. This is, yeah, the global missions go live at 5 p.m. So that's 5 p.m. Swiss time should be when the global celebration news come out. And JP actually, yeah, it's funny, JP celebration is likely gonna drop when the banner comes out, because that's when the celebration missions do start. Like I said, at 10 p.m. Pacific time, which is, I don't know, it's weird. So it's not when the banners drop, but it's a little earlier. It's odd. I mean, I guess celebration info may potentially drop early in JP still, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. I'm done here. I will catch you all next time.